wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Vina Sustiani Putri. Today I'm going to present my synthetic analysis titled Synthetic Analysis of English Sentences. In these presentations, I will explain what syntax is, describe its key properties, discuss how lexical and grammatical categorizations work, and finally show how constituency tests help us understand sentence structure in English. Understanding syntax. Syntax refers to the set of rules that determine how word and phrase are arranged to form meaningful and grammatically correct sentences. It plays a very important role in communication because even a small change in word order can completely change the meaning. For example, the cat chased the dogs means something very different from the dog chased the cat. Syntax helps us to organize words logically, showing how nouns, verbs, and clauses interact to express clear ideas. It's also important to understand that syntax is different from grammar. Grammar focuses on whether words are used correctly or not, while syntax focuses on how those words are structured and arranged to create clear and meaningful sentences. In short, grammar checks correctness, but syntax explains structure. Properties of syntax. Syntax has several key properties. The first one is the hierarchy, which means that smaller units like word combine to form phrase, and phrase combine to form clause and complete sentences. The second property is structure dependency, which means that the meaning of the sentence depends on how it is arranged. For example, in sentence, she showed the man with the binocular. We can interpret it two ways. Either she used binocular to see him or the man had the binoculars. This shows how structure impact meaning. Syntax also shows predictability in patterns, but it can sometimes lead to ambiguity. In addition, syntax demonstrates productivity, meaning speaker can create unlimited new sentences using familiar patterns. It also shows systematicity, such as when English regular perform the past tense by adding ed. These properties prove that syntax makes language both creative and organized at the same time. Next, lexical and grammatical categorizations. Let's look at the example sentence. Please take a seat while you wait. Each word in these sentences has a specific lexical and grammatical functions. The word please is an adverb that functions a politeness maker. Take is the main verb showing the action. Is a determiner that introduces the noun seat, which is the object of the verb. Then, while is a conjunction that connects two clauses. And you is a pronoun functioning as the subject of white. And finally, white is the verb in the subordinate clause. Grammatically, the sentence is in the imperative mood, addressing the listener politely. The structure combines an imperative clause with a subordinate clause, which give it both a functional and courteous tone. This example shows how syntax and social context work together to create polite and natural expression in English. Sentence structure and constituency. In the next sections, I analyze three sentences. First is, she didn't recognize the man at first. Second is, please take a seat while you wait. And the last is, can I help you with something? Each of these sentences can be divided into phrases such as noun phrases, verb phrases, and prepositional phrases. For instance, in the first sentences, she is a noun phrase and didn't recognize the man at first is the verb phrase. To identify the structure, I use several syntactic tests such as substitutions, movement, coordination, and clipping. The substitution test replaces part of a sentence which a pronoun or a simpler phrase. The movement test checks whether a phrase can change positions without making the sentences ungrammatical. And then the coordination test combines similar constituents. And the last is clipping, highlight the specific part for emphasis. Together, these tests help confirm which part of sentence function as a single structural unit or constituents. The last is findings and conclusions. From all of the tests, The last is finding and conclusions. From all of the tests, the substitutions, movement, and coordinations tests work best. They clearly identify main constituents such as the man and a seat. For example, replacing the man with him or a seat with it prove that there is a single noun phrase constituents. Movement also show that adverbial elements like at first or while you wait can shift positions without changing meaning. However, the clipping test was sometimes awkward when applied to longer to embedded clauses like while you wait. This was not a structural problem, but more about naturalness in everyday use. This finding revealed that sentences structure is hierarchical. Word form phrase, phrase form clause, and clause form sentences. They also show that syntax operates within real communications, balancing grammatical correctness with natural expression. Therefore, to fully understand sentence structures, multi- multiple tests should be used together, since no single test gives a complete picture.